Hey everyone! Welcome back to Cee Avenue, the Boulevard of Inspirations. Today, we're going to talk about some hot topics in the writing industry here in the Philippines. It's a wild world out there, and I want to chat about the challenges and controversies that many writers face. So grab a seat, get comfy, and let's have an open conversation about what's really going on in our writing community. Ready? Plagiarism and originality. Plagiarism is a big issue, no doubt about that. Writers sometimes get called out for copying ideas or even entire passages from other writers' works. In the Philippines, we've seen cases where popular authors were accused of plagiarizing content from foreign books or even fellow Filipino writers. The problem is, with so much content online, it's easier to copy but harder to hide. Originality is becoming a rare gem, and writers need to be extra cautious. Representation and diversity. Another hot topic is how some writers represent certain groups, especially Indigenous people, LGBTQ+, and those from different social classes. Some writers have been criticized for either not including diverse characters at all or portraying them in harmful stereotypes. Readers, especially younger ones, are calling for more inclusive stories that reflect the diversity of Filipino culture and society. Low compensation and lack of support. Writers, especially freelancers and budding novelists, often struggle with low compensation. There's also the issue of exposure versus compensation. These days, many writers are asked to work for exposure instead of actual money. Also, there aren't many resources or funding for new writers to help them get published or improve their craft. Piracy. This one's a headache not just for authors, but for publishers as well. The rise of ebooks and digital content has also led to a rise in piracy. Filipino authors, especially indie writers, suffer because their works get shared illegally on different platforms. It takes away potential income and discourages writers from publishing more work. Gatekeeping. I'm sure you have thought about this, that there's this small circle of established writers and publishers who controls the industry. New voices, especially from marginalized communities, struggle to break in because the industry tends to favor the same names over and over again. This has led to frustration, with many saying that Filipino literature needs fresh perspectives and more open opportunities. Classic style versus erotic and almost pornographic novels. I don't know why that's always what readers are looking for, and since it sells well, writers focus on it even if they don't really have much knowledge about how to write that kind of genre properly. What's more alarming is that more and more people, and even younger writers, are getting into it just because it's what's popular. It's really a cycle. If there's demand, there will be supply. And the sad part is, this is what publishing houses prioritize, especially on online writing platforms. AI. Nowadays, it feels almost impossible to live without the help of artificial intelligence. While it's a big help for writers, we shouldn't depend on it too much. It's fine to use AI for research, especially when it comes to complex details, but we should never entirely rely on it. Because if you let artificial intelligence do all the work for you, in the end, you'll be the one to lose. One day, you'll wake up and realize that the spark in your writing is gone, and your creativity is lost. So yes, using AI as a tool for writing is okay, but letting it write an entire novel for you from start to finish is never going to be okay. All of these controversial issues that we've discussed show that while the writing industry in the Philippines is growing, it's also facing challenges that affect both the writers and their readers. Thanks for sticking with me through this important conversation. At the end of the day, publishers need to support diverse voices and fair practices, while writers should continue pushing boundaries and telling authentic stories. And as readers, we have the power to uplift these voices by choosing what we read and support. Together, we can create a better, more inclusive writing industry in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful discussions. See you next time on Cee Avenue, the Boulevard of Inspirations.